Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this. Or it'll be even... I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Well done.
I always knew you could do it.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to have...
I had no choice. My friend
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get...
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured when he insisted on repaying the favor.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing.
So,
Our team captain
Sir,
All right.
there's, dear friends, firstly, I'm grateful to this traveler and her companion Paimon. They've agreed to, and let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So,
Well said!
I'll drink to that. How does it, to be honest?
Well, you better get used to it.
Hey, please don't.
Ah, you're here.
How did you know?
You look like you've still got questions, because they had the thought of telling them you could just as imagine if I couldn't make. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. Or,
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait.
yes, it was. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude she played and still, it was an impressive. You feel loss keenly. This is a war. And there can be no war without loss. The people of Natlan look to me as their archon.
Yeah,
I suppose. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason, and it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate. This is a pivotal moment. We are, well, precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient names can be
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonin right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
you here to help find the baby Saurians?
And I'm Toba. You must be the helpers that we've been waiting for.
It's nice to meet you too, but we're just passing through. Oh, but Uncle Sanka said he was gonna send some of his friends over to help us. You sure he didn't mean you? Yeah, sorry. Whatever this is about, it sounds like you've got the wrong end of the stick. Wrong end of the stick?
Darn it! We've been tricked, Hoonie. I should have known that Glasses Guy was a con artist.
What are we supposed to do about the baby Saurians now? It's okay, Hoonie. Don't worry. Oh, there's been a lot of after what happened to Nana. Her babies were so scared that If Nana is your dad's Saurian, why is... My dad's one of the elders. I didn't think it would take very long, but then...
Yeah.
It's all right. Don't let them get to you. They should be. I already managed to find... Really?
Awesome. You gotta be careful out on the cliff.
Hoonie said the baby Saurians are on the cliff, so let's find a way up. Well, if it isn't the gruesome twosome who wormed their way into our servant circle of friends. Still awestruck from the last time we met? Would that be why you hastily scrambled up here to pay your respects the moment you saw us? I suppose we can't blame you. Such is the spell that our majesty casts on our minion. Very well. You heathens leave us no choice. The almighty Dragon Lord, Kahula shall grant you the audience that you seek. Come, pucker up. You may now kiss our feet. Wait, aren't you like Kenichi's sidekick? What the heck are you going on about? You're somehow managing to be even more annoying than the last time we met. Silence! Who are you calling sidekick? We are the Dragon Supreme, sovereign ruler of the Nation of Flame. We shall have you know that last time, were it not for Kenichi's earnest pleading on your behalf, you would have received not a single word of mercy. Oh, come on, you talk big. That's more like it. If you must know, our humble servant begged us to investigate an abyss incident near Hoytsidlan, and we chose to grant his request. Abyss incident? See this little lizard? Its mother, a medium-sized lizard, came under the influence of abyssal power. In her confusion, she attacked my servant's tribe, then assailed her own offspring. Yikes! So how is she doing now? She was but a lowly bug fighting against the power of the abyss. Naturally, she has departed for the Night Kingdom. Such a fragile creature. Apparently, she ended her struggle by leaping from a cliff. Leaping from a... My dear anemic flying ant, as addled with questions as your head may be, please keep them to yourself and wipe that absurd expression off your face. We are the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula, not a wish-granting fountain. Anemic flying ant? Huge! Just you wait. Two can play at the ugly nickname game. We sense a faint abyssal energy. An evil sorcerer must be lurking nearby, but they are well hidden. If you encounter any suspicious outlanders, be sure to give them a robust interrogation. Suspicious outlanders? Wait, are you mocking us? How dare you cast aspersions on your ruler, heathen! You're just lucky that our servant has such vile taste in friends. Otherwise, we would beat you black and blue, and then purple, then black again! If you're not here to kiss my feet, then get out of my sight. Do not impede the work of the almighty Dragon Lord. The potty mouth on that guy! I'm on his furious! Still, good to know about the Abyss threat, huh? Wasn't expecting that. Let's not get sidetracked.
Wow, you're back already?
I'm so glad that the babies are all right. Thank you both so much. Now we can finally go home and... You're welcome. Piece of cake! You're not from Natlan, right? Because your clothes look different than ours. Hey, you must be tired after all that climbing. You should come take a rest at my...
Yeah, please come. I promise you'll get a big Scions of the Canopy welcome.
By the sound of it, Glasses guy wasn't from Natlan either, right? Uh-huh. Well, his clothes sure weren't. You know what? Now that I think about it, there was something really... Maybe he was the suspicious outlander that Ahau mentioned. Sure, if you're interested. Oh, let me think. Oh, please, mister. I've told you so many stories already. When are you gonna help me find the baby Saurian?
Just one more story. One more, I swear. Why don't you tell me more about that ball of fire? I heard that there was a huge transparent ball of fire that used to burn 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, maybe even further back than that.
Oh, you mean Turnfire. That's where the ancient name Malipo comes from.
Oh, wow. So it was the origin of an ancient name. That's impressive.
Uh-huh. There's a story behind every ancient name. The legend goes that the Turnfire first appeared in the era of the Grand Alliance. It was used by the tyrant Ochkon to rule over Natlan and oppress anyone who opposed him. Turnfire is different from normal fire. If you get set on fire with it, you'll feel horrible burning pain from behind you, but you won't die from it right away. And whatever you do, you mustn't turn back to look at it.
Why? What happens if you turn back?
As soon as you turn around, poof! You get burned to a crisp.
Well, good golly gee. I mean, it's one thing to singe someone's clothes, but burn...
Right? How nasty is it to burn someone from behind and not even let them turn around to look? Ochkon really was an evil tyrant.
Yes, shocking behavior. Now, let me guess. Eventually, a valiant hero came to save the day? That's usually how these stories go.
Good guess, Uncle Glasses. Seems like you really know your stuff. The hero was called Yupanqui. He's the ancestor of our tribe.
Mm-hmm. Yupanqui was friends with Ochkon the Tyrant, and also Shibalanke, the first Pyro Archon. He was working as an ordnance officer for the Grand Alliance at the time. He didn't like how Ochkon was such a cruel tyrant, so he stole the Turnfire and threw it at the Ochkon's army. And that's how our ancestors set our people free. But just as he was about to leave the city, he thought he heard Ochkon calling out to him from behind. It caught him off guard, and he turned around to look.
But Ochkon wasn't there. All he saw was a city burned black, an army in ruins, and giant...
A split second later, the flames he saw burst out from inside his eyes and swallowed him up.
All it took was a single glance. As soon as he looked back, he was burned to a crisp.
The question is, was this the price he paid for stealing the Turnfire, or the price of turning back?
Nobody knows the answer. But the fire that consumed Yupanqui burned more fiercely than any other. It burned for 100 days until it burned a hole right through the ley lines. And then, the flame dropped into the deathly dark Night Kingdom, where it still burns to this day.
The grown-ups say that it lights up the path that leads to the next life. But for the dead to be reborn, they have to accept the flames and be purified by the fire first. It's like a final look back at your life, where you have to answer for everything you did.
Ah, a fine parable indeed. So, Is it true? Is it really possible to find this fire in the Night Kingdom?
I don't know. I think it's just a story.
Either way, I assume this name has been passed down in your tribe ever since?
Sure has. It went to Burkina, the hero that we celebrate on Turnfire Night. But that was 500 years ago.
Yeah, and now it belongs to Kanich. So we often call him Malipo Kanich.
Kinich, huh?
All right, Uncle Glasses, that's enough stories. Now, can you please go find the baby Saurians for us like you promised?
I would, but doesn't the legend of the Turnfire teach us not to look back? Let's not go dredging up the past. Tell me more about this Kinich guy. One more story, I swear. Starting now. No? Careful, Toba. You look dangerously close to cursing me out right now. Tut tut. We can't have that. Cursing is for grown-ups only.
Uncle, you'd better not be trying to trick us, or the Turnfire will get you when you die.
How would it get me if I'm outside of Natlan? Uncle Glasses isn't from here, you know. Unlike you.
Huh?
Wait. Is that... All right, kiddos. I'm a man of my word. 2 of my friends are on their way here, and, yeah, they'll help you out on my behalf. Work them like dogs, okay? That's what they're here for. Don't go easy on them just for my sake.
Really? Well, first, can you tell us your name?
We met at the foot of this cliff, so beneath the peaks, let's go with Sang.
Seriously?
If you don't believe me, turn around and see for yourselves. They're right behind.
Huh? Where? Oh, wait! Uncle Sonka, where did you go? Yeah, definitely a fishy character. It sounds like he was digging for info about the ancient name.
Yeah, and not only that, but he betrayed us too. He'll pay for this.
All he got out of us was some stories, though. What's the worst that could happen? Traveler, maybe we should go tell Kanich about this. Ahau says he's investigating it, but he's a bit of a loose cannon. We probably shouldn't take him at his word. Huh? You know Kanich? Not very well, but we have met him before, and one time we had a meal together.
Aw, man, I'm so jealous. I never even spoken to him. He's so cool. He's the Saurian hunter, and he has a really awesome ancient name.
Me neither. I don't think my dad really likes him, though. He always tells me to stay away from him. Probably because of that little creep he always hangs out with. He's nasty, and he's so full of himself. Oh, the creep who calls himself Kahul Ahau? Yeah, we've had the pleasure of meeting him, too. He sure loves pushing people's buttons. Exactly. I don't know why Kanich partnered up with him. Why didn't he pick me instead?
Uh-oh. Huni, look how late it is. We've been out way too long. We better get home now or we'll get yelled at.
Oh, yikes. You're right. Okay, well, this path here leads to our settlement. If you decide to visit, remember to come to my house. If there's anything you need, my dad can help get it for you. Hope to see you soon.
We gotta run. Bye for now.
What were you thinking, going out by yourself? Don't you know how dangerous it is?
It's okay. Toba helped me. And we met some kind strangers. strangers who helped us.
Kind strangers? What made you so sure they were so kind, huh? Oh, I suppose they had kind stranger written on their foreheads?
Yeah, actually, they did. In big, bold letters.
Don't talk back to me. The Mountain King problem still hasn't been solved. What would I do if I lost you too? No dinner for you tonight.
They were good people, Dad. Dinner or no dinner. Hello again, Hoonie. It's Miss Paimon and Miss Traveler. Dad, it's them. They're the ones who helped me.
Oh, so you're the kind strangers. Well, I'm Trinidad. Apparently, you helped my daughter today, so if there's anything you need, just ask. As an elder of the Scions of the Canopy, I've got some influence around here. Now, I trust that you're sensible people who know better than to take advantage of their host's generosity.
Yep, just helping a neighbor. We're not looking for anything in return.
Oh? Well, let's hope so.
Dad, please. They're not bad people. They've eaten at the same table with Kanich before. Be nice to them.
Kanich! Wait! I heard that two mysterious travelers from afar showed up at the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. Are they you?
And Paimon's the other.
I do apologize. A lot's been going on in our tribe lately, and I suppose the pressure must be getting to me. I can't believe I was so rude to you. I feel ashamed. We got off on the wrong foot. Can we,
Oh, now we're talking. Seriously, though, don't worry about it. Already forgotten. We're just happy to see Hoonie got home safe and sound.
Oh, you just arrived, I take it, and it would be my honor to give you a hero's welcome tonight.
Careful now. That's quite an about-face. We've heard that kind of thing can lead to spontaneous combustion around these parts.
My dear traveler, you are very perceptive indeed. Go inside now, Hoonie. Dad's got some important business to discuss.
Okay. Look after Miss Traveler and Miss Paimon. They're very special guests. Well, we'll hear you out, but we can't make any promises that we'll be able to help.
Well, this is a matter of utmost importance. Please, allow me to explain. For many years, our tribe has celebrated the Turnfire Night. It is a traditional ceremony among the Scions of the Canopy in which we remember our ancestor, Burkina, and his companion, Kangamato, the Mountain King. Burkina was a hero who bore the ancient name Malipo, and Kangamato was a powerful Yumkasor warrior. Together, they fought against the Abyss. They were victorious, but it came at a great cost. Burkina paid with his life. The Mountain King survived, but was contaminated by the Abyss, and he remains in hibernation to this day. Normally, Yumkasors never live longer than a century. It is possible that the Abyssal Power is responsible for his unnaturally long lifespan. Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory comes at a price. The abyssal power inside him is highly sensitive, and when it is disturbed, he awakens and flies into a blind rage, attacking anything that moves. So, besides the ceremony, another important part of Turnfire Night each year is cleansing the abyssal power inside the Mountain King, so that he will remain sound asleep. However, Abyss-related incidents have been on the rise in that land lately, as I'm sure you're both aware. As a result, it has become increasingly difficult to keep the Mountain King in hibernation. Only 5 months have passed since the last Turnfire Night, and he's already showing signs of instability.
Has he woken up again?
He has. We managed to contain the situation by performing a makeshift ceremony right away, but it was a close call. He could reawaken at any moment. Also, he attacked and wounded my companion, Nana, during the ceremony. She became contaminated by the Abyss as a result, and...
We heard. Such a tragedy. We're really sorry for your loss.
Yes, and Nana wasn't the first. Anyway, right now we're preparing for an exceptional Turnfire Night ceremony. Of course. Plus, he's a bona fide hero who inherited the Malipo name.
Oh, you mean Kanich?
Yes, he's the one. A hero, worth his weight in gold. And unfortunately for us, he's all too aware of that. No prizes for guessing what he said when I asked him to host a Turnfire night outside of the annual schedule. An exceptional ceremony? Oh, I'll have to charge an exceptional price. I swear, no other concept exists in that boy's brain. I'm not the one to usually talk about people behind their backs, but I'm convinced the Wyab got hit on the head and took a wrong turn the day it chose to give that ancient name to him. I mean, have you ever heard of a hero whose mantra is, "What's your ass?" Oh, and don't get me started on that insufferable Ahau he hangs around with. Thinks he's God's gift to mankind. Pompous fool.
Yeah, Paimon has to agree on that last part.
Anyway, the fact is, the ceremony can just as easily be done without him as long as we can find someone else. And besides, you two seem like much better candidates. So, what do you think? Wonderful! I can't thank you enough. Huni was right about you. You have kindness in your hearts. Come with me to the other side of the mountain. I'll bring you up to speed on each step of the ceremony. As experienced warriors, I'm sure you'll pick it up in no time.
Achoo! Curses! Who dares insult the great Kahul Ahau behind his back?
Oh, great Kahul Ahau, bless you.
Shut your filthy mouth, worm of the abyss! Your putrid words defile the air we breathe. You make the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahul Ahau, sick to the stomach.
Speaking as a member of the Abyss Order, that's music to my ears. Exactly the kind of reaction we're going for. But on a personal level, I gotta say, it's pretty hurtful.
Ugh, never have we heard such brazen blustering from someone who is inches from death. Up yours, Four Eyes! We spit in your face!
Okay, well, that I am at a loss to explain. How do I manage to stay so chirpy and cheerful? I can only guess it's some kind of powerful magic, but I digress. Mr. Kinich, I admit it, you, sir, are a legendary hunter. Still, the only reason you caught me is that I was reluctant to run away. You see, I'm very interested in the lore of your tribe.
Kay?
Is that it? Kay? Aren't you intrigued to know what it is about you guys that prompted a visit from the Abyss? It's the extreme sports! The other day, I narrowly avoided getting hit by a very brave soul who just leaped off a cliff. I think you call it bungee jumping? Anyway, I was very impressed. That is what I call embracing the spirit of adventure. Look, I even did a painting inspired by the bravery and freedom of the scions of the canopy.
You scum-sucking swine! I swear, if you go bungee jumping, it'll be without a rope! Head first off the tallest cliff, with a band of hunters on your tail, and nowhere left to run, and a bottomless cesspit waiting for you on the ground.
You say that, but I get the sense that Mr. Kinich isn't planning to take my life right now. On top of that, I'm tired of spying on you from afar. So why don't we just negotiate a comfortable operating distance that works for both of us? I've heard that the most important thing in human relationships is to respect each other's boundaries. What do you say, Mr. Kinich?
Or you could tell me what it is you're really after.
What?
And then I'll name my price.
The Abyss contamination is back. No surprises there. No doubt that explains the Mountain King's recent activity. See those torches over there? Those are the Sacred Flame offshoots that we requested from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. They contain the power of the Pyro Arc.
Are you saying that the Sacred Flame and the Turnfire are the...
Well, for ceremonial purposes, at least. Sending someone to the Night Kingdom to retrieve the legendary Turnfire isn't exactly an option. More to the point, though, the Sacred Flame is able to burn away abyssal filth, so that's why we use it in the ceremony.
Gotcha! So basically, we just need to clean up the filth with the Sacred Flame.
Well, that's one part of it, yes, but the completes first. Then, the most skilled flame.
Wow! You can do all that flying without ever falling to the ground? Well, of course Paimon can. It'd be much harder for you guys.
Well, don't worry. It's not a requirement of the ceremony. You're allowed to touch the ground. The only thing you're not allowed to do is turn back. The flame bearer must always keep moving forward. You can't skip a pillar, then come back to it after lighting the next one. To do so...
What about today, then? Does the same rule...
Oh, no. Don't worry. Today is just a practice. The order does... Are you ready? I'll repeat all the...
Alright, let's use this kindling to complete our mission. There's abyssal filth over there! Let's burn it away with the Sacred Flame! Should be all the braziers. Let's regroup with Trinidad.
knew I was right about you. You have outperformed. If there was an ancient name...
Yeah! Although it would probably take Paimon quite...
All right, now there's still a few days left until the ceremony, and I should probably get back so I can inform the chief and the other elders that I have found the flame bearer.
Oh, you mean they've still got to sign off on it?
Some of them are still hoping we can come to an agreement with Kanich, but that's only because they haven't seen you in action. Still, I'm the one responsible for securing a... See that place over there? There was a time, long before the age of Burkina and the Mountain King, when we, Scions of the Canopy, called that our home. After a period of upheaval, if we failed to keep the threat posed by the mountain... So, to answer your question...
Fair enough.
I'll need you to drop by my...
Okay, see you later.
You have my gratitude.
We've helped out with a lot of other local festivals before, but this one feels a little different. Anyway, let's take a break before heading back to Trinidad's place.
Traveler?
Kanich! Fancy meeting you here!
I'll get straight to the point. I hear you accepted a proposal from...
Oh! The, Turnfire Knight, you mean,
Chill, it's cool. I only mention it because there's something you should know. And I suspect Elder Trinidad hasn't been completely forthcoming with you. His true intention is to resolve the Mountain King problem once and for all.
Once and for all? You mean this'll be the last Turnfire Knight ever?
That's right. He wants to use you to send the Mountain King to the Night Kingdom.
To the Night Kingdom? You mean...
To his death.
Whoa, are you serious right now? You shouldn't go blurting out accusations like that. It could get you in trouble.
Too blunt? Okay. I'll phrase it more gently. There is potentially a possibility that Elder Trinidad may be hoping that during the course of the ceremony, you kill the Mountain King dead.
But that's ridiculous! He told us the Mountain King is a living symbol of your tribe's glory.
And that glory comes at a price.
Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory comes at a price. Ah, yes, and Nana wasn't the first.
She likely won't be the last to lose her life either.
Still, is killing the Mountain King really the only way? It seems so extreme.
The Mountain King is a unique case when it comes to abyssal contamination. It's eaten away at him for so long that it has consumed him entirely. And the damage, that evil power has both driven him insane and kept him alive over the centuries. So, to look at it one way, once it's completely purged from his body, the Mountain King will finally be able to rest in peace. In past ceremonies, we've only purged around half of the abyssal power. This was to strike a balance. To keep him alive, but also keep him asleep.
Trinidad didn't say anything about how much power he wanted us to purge, but he did say there were some more details to go over before the ceremony.
Then it sounds like you'll know for sure soon enough.
If he really asks us to kill the Mountain King, what should we do?
I know this must come as quite a shock, so I suggest you act like you didn't hear anything for now. But would you have time to visit the chief after your meeting with Elder Trinidad? I'd like to make a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
One that comes at a very reasonable price. I'm sure you have good.
Ah, mighty Outlanders. You.
It was...
Glad to hear it. There are still those.
Plus, Kanichta...
Exactly. We covered the fire lighting. It's quite simple. One point I'd like to...
Asleep?
Precisely. But I understand that you have... With your help.
Traveler?
So this doesn't faze you at all. Huh? That's all you really need to... In the meantime, and if you wouldn't mind...
So now we have extra...
I'll be sticking around.
Seems like Kanich was right. We should go meet up with him right away.
Emotional support is important.
Huh, you're here.
Kanich! Elder Trinidad!
I can tell. It's written on your faces.
Is that the Traveler in Paimon? Forgive me for not being there to welcome you on your arrival. That should have been my duty as
Hello, Chief Waina.
I only heard the news from Trinidad yesterday, so I asked Kinich to invite you over for a quick chat. I believe Kinich has already filled you in, so I'll get straight to the point. Firstly, I fully endorse your appointment as flame bearers for the upcoming Turnfire Night. However, I would like to request that you take steps to ensure the Mountain King's safety. Every child of our tribe grows up hearing the tales of our heroes. From Yupanqui the Firebringer, to Burkina and the Mountain King who fought against the Abyss. This is our history and our heritage, the source of our pride, and the center of our faith. To kill the Mountain King would be to destroy our spirit. I would never be able to face our ancestors in the Night Kingdom. Nana's death was a great tragedy, and I do not blame Trinidad for the actions he has taken. Nevertheless, I cannot allow any harm to come to the Mountain King. The very roots of our identity are at stake. My honored guests, please give this matter your serious consideration. Perhaps there is. But despite all our attempts to contain, though I sense that your mind is not—
So, Kanich, earlier you—
Let's walk and talk. I'll show you—
That works too. Kanich, Paimon finally understands why you turned Trinidad down. You knew what he was planning, didn't you? That's why you didn't want to be the flame bearer this time, because it's a double-edged sword. The whole—
Double-edged sword is right. But my response wasn't merely an excuse. To solve this exceptional problem, an exceptional price must be paid. I'm working on it.
Really? Well, come on.
In a moment. Didn't you have a question you were about to ask me?
Oh, yeah. What was it again? Oh, right. We need to talk—
I agree that he has a problem. He needs disciplining, so I hired him a teacher.
You got him a teacher? Oh, Paimon would love to see him get scolded for bad behavior. Anyway, moving on. When we ran into a house, he said you two were investigating some Abyss thing together. Is that related to the whole Mountain King?
Yes, that's the angle I've been working on. I'm a Saurian hunter, but I occasionally hunt the Abyss, too. One time I was pursuing some purple demonic dogs when I accidentally entered a hidden space. I did some research after the fact. Apparently they're known as beastly rifts, and there are many of them of all different sizes. That's where those purple dogs were coming from.
So,
if we can locate one of these beastly rifts, clear the monsters out, and move the Mountain King inside, he'd be able to continue living, but without posing a threat to the tribe.
Whoa, that sounds kinda crazy. Would it really work?
It's not without its risks, of course. There's a lot of unknowns in the equation. For instance, for all we know, a prolonged period inside the rift could make the Mountain King's condition worse. Still, we desperately need something like this, even just as a temporary measure. The chief is adamant about keeping the Mountain King alive. Whatever.
Paimon can understand. It's less about the Mountain King and more about preserving your culture and heritage.
Yes, but on the flip side, you've got people like Elder Trinidad, who is more concerned about protecting the people he cares about now and into the future, and he has every right to take that view. It's one thing to try and preserve the last remnants of a glorious past, but making your kin pay the price for it? No one can seriously tell them that's a fair trade.
You're right. There's no easy answers here. Let's leave that to one side for a moment and assume we go with your plan. How do you actually intend? Because at least in our experience, the dogs open the rifts when they want to attack us, not the other way around.
I think I know a way. You have any better ideas?
Not at the moment, but it just feels like using the power of the Abyss for our own ends isn't gonna end well. After all, the Abyss is what turned the Mountain King into a monster in the first place. People are gonna think you've lost your marbles.
If it doesn't end well, then that's the price we pay. Everything in the world comes at a price. Even when Yupanqui, the Firebringer, stole the Turnfire, it cost him dearly. The Mountain King's erratic outbursts have brought tensions within the tribe to a boiling point. Unless this gets resolved quickly, everyone will be stuck in a stalemate.
All right. So what's this deal you wanted to make with us? We're hardly experts on exploiting abyssal power.
All I need you to do is keep people away from me. I'm getting harassed on a daily basis by people trying to convince me to be the flame bearer. I can't afford to waste all my energy dealing with them. If you help me out, there'll be a gift for you in return.
Ooh, what kind of gift?
Something well worth your while, I'd say. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Integrate that way, then, when the day of the ceremony comes, we'll move the Mountain King into his new home.
Still sounds pretty crazy. And even if it...
At least the two of them would... The tribe needs leaders like them far more than a sorry... Can I take that to mean that we have a...
For sure. And who knows? Maybe we'll come up with an even better solution to all of this in the next couple...
Great. Well, good luck to us.
Okay, task for the day. Meet the tribe's people and take some heat off of Kenichi's back.
Hoonie.
Because he...
But it wasn't on...
That's true.
How can you be so harsh to someone who's sick?
Toba, Huni, what's wrong?
Hoonie's saying nasty things about the Mountain King. It's not right. He's our hero.
Once upon a time, maybe. But not anymore.
Yesterday, maybe, but not anymore.
Toba? Fine. I guess my dad is right. Things change, and you just have to accept it and move. As of today, our friendship is over. There's no going back. Oh, come on, cut it out, you two. We have some great news to tell you. The Traveler is gonna be the flame bearer for the next Turnfire night. She's gonna do a beautiful ceremony and cure the Mountain King's illness for...
What? Really?
So that's what my dad wanted to talk to you about? To be fair, from what we saw the other day, you are pretty good at climbing cliffs. Probably just as good as Kanich.
Wait, speaking of Kanich, where even is that guy?
Oh yeah, good question. We can get him to come, but if he catches you two fighting again, he won't be happy. He'll be sure to give you both a piece of his mind.
No, we can't let that happen. I've never even spoken to him before. I can't afford to make such a bad...
I didn't mean to argue with Toba. Oh, yeah. All right, Dad just really...
Huh? Oh. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did either.
That's more like it. Now you're best friends again. Guess so. Toba, if I ever say something mean about the Mountain King in the future, I'll make sure I say it to someone else, and not you. I'd better go buy some colored cloth for my dad now. He needs it for Turnfire Night. Let's play again some other time. See you, Toba. See you, Traveler and Paimon.
Okay. I'll head home as well then.
Okay, take care, you two. Even though they said they're sorry, it looks like their friendship isn't as strong as it... Let's just hope we can solve this once and for all. Come on, let's move on. Huh? What's going on over there? Let's... Hey there! What's happening here?
A rehearsal for the Turnfire Night dance.
Ooh, there's a dance involved?
You don't know it? Ah, I guess you're not from these parts, huh? It's rare to see a new face around the tribe these days. I thought everyone would be keeping away.
Why do you say that?
Because of the Turnfire Night, of course. The Mountain King could wake up at any time. That's why we're holding an emergency ceremony. This isn't one of those fun and games festivals. For outsiders, it might even be a little dangerous.
Well, did you know that the Flame Bearer this time is actually gonna be an outsider?
Oh, I did hear about that. It's a first for sure. I would have loved to meet them in person. What? Oh, it's you? Man, oh man. Well, this is a nice surprise. It's funny. I was just thinking that I'll probably miss out on meeting the new Flamebearer since I'm not taking part this time around. Then suddenly, there you are. Must be my lucky day.
You're not taking part in the Turnfire Night? How come? You're not an outsider too, are you?
You must be joking. Watch this. Not bad, right? Yeah, I'm considered one of the better looking guys who dances beneath the pillars of the sacred flame. Been doing it a few years.
Oh, very impressive.
Well, I feel like the whole Mountain King situation is getting more and more precarious. It's just not safe here anymore. One of our elders' Saurian companions even lost her life not long ago. The question is, what are we gonna do about this in the long term? But our leaders don't have any answers for us. They're probably too busy fighting about it amongst themselves. The way things are going, it's only a matter of time before it gets violent. So I figured, you know what? Now's as good a time as any to get away for a little while. Go do some exploring.
You look a little disappointed.
Disappointed? Nah. It's a great opportunity to go see the world. As every male scion of the canopy knows, wherever you are and wherever you go, the only way is forwards. I managed to get in touch with the Saurian Relics Association. They gave me a simple test. Find a decent quality relic, and they'll make me a member.
What's the Saurian Relics Association?
You've never heard of it? It's a group of amateur history enthusiasts who do research on the ancient Saurian era. They're all about collecting relics and remnants from that age. Speaking of which, the guy who was Flamebearer before you, I've heard that his Saurian buddy comes from that time.
A how? A how's a relic from an ancient Saurian civilization?
Oh, yeah, him. So you know those two already, huh? Then do you know how they met? It was deep inside some mysterious ruin, and they signed a contract there. The association folks say that the kind of contract usually comes with a huge hidden cost.
Really? That sounds ominous.
Who knows? But if it's true, Kinich can probably handle it. He knows what he's doing with weighing up contracts and costs and stuff. I doubt he'd make a contract that doesn't benefit him. Strangely enough, I actually happened upon a strange mural a while back, and it looked to me like it was depicting a Saurian and a human involved in some kind of Saurian-era contract ritual.
Oh, does that count as a relic then?
You bet it does. I was all ready to go take a picture of it, but after all the... Or... You look like you know your way around a fight. I don't suppose there's any chance you'd be able to help?
If all you need to get is a picture, that should be pretty achievable, right? The Traveler deals with monsters all the time. It's a piece of cake.
Wait, you're seriously gonna help me out?
Come on, it's no big deal. Compared to some...
Pyro Archon above. You two have hearts of gold, you know that? You're the kind of people who could dive into the Turnfire deep in the bowels of the Night Kingdom, and it wouldn't burn a single hair off your head. Of course it is. All right, come with me. I'll show you the way. There it is. It's inside these ruins. As you can see, the place is crawling with monsters.
Alrighty then. Stay back and take cover, Tiago. This could get dangerous. We'll...
Great minds think alike. I'm not about to cramp your style.
Gotcha. Shine down.
Here you are. The process of elimination.
Overruled. Game's up. Time's over. Illusion shattered. Quiet now. Horn to oblivion.
That should be the last of them. Hey, look! That's gotta be it, right? Definitely looks like a mural. True. Now that you mention it, most ancient murals take up a whole huge wall. This looks more like someone with a paintbrush got bored and started doodling. It does match the story he told us, though. There's a Saurian and a human. So, is that supposed to be what an ancient contract ritual looked like? Whatever. We're not here to decipher it. Just photograph it.
You've been robbed? Oh, Ponche. And I thought my luck was bad.
Oh, I put blood, sweat, and tears into that, and now...
Tiago, is this the picture you were looking for?
Let me take a look. Yep, that's the one. Pyro Archon above, you two are superhuman. Hey, Ponche, come and say hi to these guys. They're gonna be the new flame bearers, and they're tough as nails.
Wait, are you the...
Huh? You already know each...
I don't think so.
My nephew Toba's been telling everyone about you. He says you're crazy strong, super friendly, that you helped him out, and that you're gonna be our flame bearers this Turnfire.
Oh, so you're Toba's uncle. Great to meet you, sir. Sounds like we managed to make a bit of a name for ourselves.
Toba's not wrong, my friend. These two are honestly some of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. Everyone speaks incredibly highly of them. Seriously. If you're comfortable telling them about what happened, I guarantee you they'll sort it out in...
Really? All I want is to get the fruits of my labor back.
Allow me to explain. Ponche is a well-known scholar within our tribe, author of the widely acclaimed...
I spent years on the word...
It was an unparalleled...
And now it's all gone. That little goon ambushed me.
That book was everything to him. It's like they robbed him of his soul when they took it.
Dear honored guests of our clan, I am but a helpless old student. If...
See what I mean, Ponche?
I don't know if he's still...
Shine down! Illusion shattered! An impressive bounty. Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
Hey! You thieving...
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved butt first. Oh, what's this? Brought a little body. Eat dirt, suckers!
Hey, he's trying to get away! You good? Let's chase him down!
The mortal plane. A fleeting dream.
Where did these Yuvkasaurs come from?
Oh, the baby saurian!
Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, gods, and kings, I can't, please. I don't have your stuff anymore. Have mercy.
Oh, yeah? Well, where is it?
I threw it away.
You threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old book, worn out pens, and some old rags. All that time lying in wait was for nothing. I was so mad, I just threw all of it away.
Is that really the truth? Okay, then. Where did you throw it away?
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon, it's the truth. May all my worldly possessions be turned to ash by Turnfire if I'm lying.
Okay, that's a pretty strong oath. What do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth. Right. Let's hope nobody gets to the book before we do.
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Hoytzatlan, it always comes with the more ominous implication of eventual trap. This holds true for all bearers of this appears. Yupanki's Turnfire. Let me see. The author is Panche. Nice. A gentleman and a scholar.
Silence, book muncher. The great Kahula will suffer your droning voice no longer.
Do you truly find no joy at all in perusing such rich historical record?
Joy? What joy is there in this pointless drivel?
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction.
What? You're saying, when will that glorious day arrive? The great Kahula demands to know!
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core. You make us Abyss Order folks look like saints in comparison.
Silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahula is sheer vanity. And if that day ever comes, oh, your doom will...
You don't need to lecture me about Doomsday. Here's what I know. Based on countless historical texts, all civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms, to heavenly thrones, to worlds beyond, there are no exceptions. But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle, thus transcending the confines of time. That dust is what we call a civilization's spirit. And you, great Kahul Ahau, are one such speck of dust from a bygone age. I've paid dearly for the chance to observe you up close. Now, let me take a good look at you. We'll see whether any memories of that age still remain inside you.
We're so sorry, Mr. Ponche, but we couldn't find your manuscript anywhere.
Does that mean all of my hard work was for nothing?
You gotta stay positive, Panche. You might have lost the book.
The whole reason I worked, well, not exactly.
Oh, really?
I think the key...
Panche.
You're right.
Yeah, I remember. Maybe you're this.
I'm not talking about childhood.
Like what?
Like the fact that the key fact... If you don't believe...
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hill?
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo must refer to some mysterious ritual involving a tit-for-tat exchange. It began with the first Pyro Archon, fell with the Grand Alliance, then was buried in the Night Kingdom. And now, it awaits the call of...
Hey. Sorry to interrupt, Panche, but you seem to be getting a little overexcited.
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinich. I'd hoped he would be attending the upcoming ceremony.
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinich, what are you doing here?
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up. Now a good time?
Kinich! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but you have to attend the Turnfire night.
So Mr. Ponche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire. and thinks he might have found a way for you to solve the problem.
I'll be there, Panche. Let's go. Here will do. Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works, we have our plan
Sounds like
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet. We didn't-
Yet.
I think it's possible. Burkina didn't fall to the abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back, and instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King. Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him, and more valuable to the tribe. Or maybe it was just out of loyalty to his friend. Either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name, it makes sense to me.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a straight face?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. The story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of events. The truth is even darker. The Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering and feels great shame. I believe he wants to be put out of his misery.
What? Then what should we do? Should we grant him his
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home. It's the only practical solution. The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be... Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't afford to have any more.
Ugh. Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain. Can we follow our hearts next time?
Then let's break for the day. I've already found a...
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
You're here. Very punctual.
Oh, so the gruesome twosome come crawling back. Here to make amends after the gross irreverence you displayed last time? Very well. The almighty Dragon Lord.
Kanich, didn't you say you found him a teacher? He's just as out of control as ever!
Hey! No one gets to discipline the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula.
Maybe because I've never had a gentle-natured companion like Paimon to compare against.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, I see what I'm missing out on now. And it's a lot.
Kanich! We could drown this measly flying ant in one droplet of spit! How dare you compare her to the almighty Dragon Lord Kahul? Oh, just wait till I possess your dead body! I will commit heinous atrocities! Tear down your legacy! Destroy your reputation! Wreak havoc on your...
Traveler, Paimon, let's get down to business. Once we've opened the beastly rift, you're welcome to toss a how in there for a couple of days.
With pleasure. You don't need to ask twice.
I got my hands on this device in a trade. It's meant as bait, but it'll also stabilize the abyssal energy. The rift towns will tear through space to get to this. You'll find out soon enough. First, let's try this out. They'll tear you to pieces given half the chance, so be careful. Locked up! Target acquired! Cornered.
Uh-oh. Are there even bigger ones on the way?
You see, Kanich? I'm a man of my word. In fact, I'd say I under-promised and over-delivered. Nifty little gizmo.
I take it this is your true form?
Now that our deal is complete, it's time to start the next phase of our relationship. I made a promise to the great Kahula How, and now I'm here to seize your body for his use. Cliché, I know. The hero's trusted partner sells him out to the abyss in a shocking act of betrayal. Cue bad guy speech and drawn-out deaths.
Huh?
Huh? Huh? What are you two doing here? Oh, Mr. Kinich, this is not what we agreed on.
Traveler, this is the gift I got you. I know you're looking for intel on the Abyss Order, so I thought he might be of use to you, but it looks like you've already met.
Yikes. Frosty reception. Gotta say, I kinda pictured this moment going a little differently. Tears of joy welling up in your eyes as you say the words, "It's good to see you again, old friend."
Don't be ridiculous. Sounds like you've been reading too many romance novels.
There we have it. Change is inevitable and nothing lasts forever. What a pity. Well then, time for you to meet the new me. This time, please call me Sanka.
Sanka! Aha! So you're Glasses Guy! You tricked Huni and Toba into
What does it matter? A name is a superficial label. It's...
That would explain a lot. Why else would you show up here and start acting like a wise guy? You looking for a fight?
I'll pass. I do rather like you, as I've said before. But my one quibble is that you really don't know your own strength.
Wait. Of course. You're the one behind all the recent Abyss activity. Let Paimon guess. You've been provoking the Mountain King too.
Haven't I told you before? I'm not part of the inner circle who do our Highness's bidding. My interests are far more low stakes. I spend my time digging for truth in ancient doodads and books. You really think a benchwarmer like me is capable of more than that?
I investigated him. He's not connected to the recent events. Just happens to be in the area. So, I struck a deal with him. He helps me summon a rift. I allow him to do some historical research.
But that's all over. And now Kinich wants to hand me over to you. Well, I was hoping this would be an opportune moment to whisk away his body. That would have given me some more time to study the great Kahula How. But now I've run into you, which is just my... Wait, does that count?
How? You are the worst of the worst! Colluding with the Abyss Order against Kinich? How could you betray—
there is no betrayal. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is a partner to no one.
Don't worry, I told him to act as bait.
Yes, and you should have picked a bigger fish. The Abyss Order? Ha! What a joke. Not even a match for our lowly servant. I put up with this toad's croaking for days, and it was all for nothing!
It looks like your disciplinary measures have been less than effective, Mr. Enjo.
What did you expect? Behavioral rehab isn't really our thing. Otherwise, we might as well change our name from the Abyss Order to the Abyss Boarding School.
The abysmal disorder would suit you better. Kanish! Dispose of him! He is of no further use to us!
Traveler?
Hey now, I may be a lowly clerk, but don't underestimate. I could never beat you in a straight-up fight. But when it comes to running away, I won't lose to anyone. Do me a favor, and remember how fast I disappear. Maybe then you'll show me a little respect next.
Darn! He got away again! Couldn't you have stopped—
It's alright. He's not worth our time and energy. Besides, it seems like he's in debt to a lot of people. I'm sure they'll keep him busy.
If you say so. Still, Paimon's kinda surprised that you actually struck a deal with someone from the Abyss Order!
To borrow that guy's words, names are superficial labels. Whether you call it the Abyss Order or anything else, it's a broad generalization at best. Think of it like apples that have fallen from a tree. If you tasted each one, you'd find that they're all at different stages of ripening. Even the unripe fruit blown off its branch before it's fully grown can still be brewed into a fine wine.
Huh. Well, in that specific sense, maybe Enjo's not such a bad apple. Not rotten to the core, at least.
Of course! Only the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahula How, is rotten to the core and evil beyond redemption.
Ugh. So what exactly are you anyway? You're definitely the evilest little thing Paimon's ever met.
Don't worry, he can't hurt a fly. You could say that.
Paimon heard that those kinds of contracts might come with a terrible cost attached.
Such as a How watching me like a ravenous vulture.
Vulture? Vulture! We are the Dragon Supreme! Sovereign ruler of the Nation of Flame!
Let's pick this up another time. It's getting kinda late. You should go back and get some rest.
Oh yeah. Hearing you lay it out like that is making Paimon a little nervous. For all the work we've put in, it all comes down to tomorrow night. We have to make sure we solve this problem once and for all.
Then it can't hurt to say this one more time. See you tomorrow.
Ah, at long last, you're back. I hear you've done much. Many young people have heard.
Well, they won't have. We really hope. Off we go!
Here we are.
Our honored guest. I have heard much of.
Don't worry about it. Getting.
Oh, if it means getting
A resolution.
no one would disagree. Look around you.
The ceremony was arranged.
That may be so.
Good evening, Trap.
Kinich! Not a moment too soon.
Chief Wayna, Elder Trinidad, could you give us a minute? I'd like to give the Traveler a few pointers as the previous Flamebearer.
Very well. But make it quick. Let me know when you're done, and we will begin the.
Let's step to the side. Has anyone gone over the key steps of the ceremony?
Yeah, Elder Trinidad did, but,
What a surprise! The flying ant has an ant-sized brain.
If you don't want your tongue to be burned off by the sacred flame tonight, I suggest you stay quiet. See those sacred flame pillars? Once you've lit the fire, go light each one up in turn. Once that's done, head down into the cave where the Mountain King slumbers, light the braziers along the way, then bring the flame to the final altar.
that sounds simple enough.
The process isn't complicated, but remember, you mustn't turn back at any point. If you miss a pillar, you can't light the next one, then come back to it. You have to keep moving forward, or it's seen as disrespecting our ancestors. If that happens, you won't receive the blessing of the Turnfire, and you'll have to start. I made you a diagram that summarizes the steps. Take a look.
So that's our part. What about you?
I'll be with you the whole way, and once you've lit the altar, I'll start summoning the rift. You can leave that side of things to me. Just
Okay. We'll try to remember all that and get it.
ready when you are. But I think I saw Huni and just tell the chief when you're ready.
How are you doing? Is all in order? I'm counting on you. By past fuel and present flame, life, my brothers.
Go get the sacred flame. Nicely done. Off to a good start. Great stuff. You're over halfway. Keep it up. Impressive. Just one more to go. Come on, one last push. The final sacred flame pillar is up ahead. Great. All the pillars are alight. Next, it's down into the canyon and head for the Mountain King's cave. Almost there. The cave is just up ahead. The Abyss presence is growing strong. We should deal with the contamination first. There's the altar of the Sacred Flame. Remember, light up the torches around it first.
That's the Mountain King up ahead, right?
That's him. Kangamato, king of the Yumkasaurs from 500 years ago.
Paimon can tell. He is huge. Let's tread carefully. We don't want to wake him up.
You've made it at last. You did even better than I expected.
Traveler, now comes the final and most important step of the ceremony. Please use the power of the Sacred Flame to cleanse the Mountain King of abyssal filth.
There's no need this time.
Hmm?
Such strong abyssal power. What is that thing? Kinich! What is the meaning of this?
Is that a beastly rip?
Chief Waina, Elder Trinidad, this is about to get a little dangerous. You should step back.
What do you think you're doing?
Solving the Mountain King issue.
You mean by having him torn to pieces by Rift?
No, stop!
Foolish locust! Ugh, can't you see? We're trying to shove your...
But... I'm sorry, Chief Wyna and Elder Trinidad.
Can you promise me that no harm will come to the Mountain King?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm fairly confident.
Traveler, this is not what we agreed on. Okay,
Ugh, you imbecile! What?
Oh no! The device is...
You forced my hand. I had no choice.
Elder Trinidad! Ugh.
No! The Mountain King is waking up! He will cause even more casualties!
Everyone, out!
Oh, it seems there is only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More... Take me, O Mountain King! Take me as your next sacrifice!
Everyone's still outside. We have to keep the Mountain King here. Give me a hand. Watch out for the fruits he's spitting out. I can use those against him. Yeah, that's it!
Busted.
Locked on.
quiet. Everlasting as the moon! Lay bare.
Target acquired.
What do we do? We can't open the rift!
Kill me! Put an end! Points at launch! Shame!
By past fuel and present flame, life marches ever on.
Oh, Burkina, I must atone.
Patience. We will answer to the fire for all our deeds. Even if one day I fall behind, never look back. Keep moving forward, as we are now.
Live with your guilt and shame. This is the price to pay.
Heir to the Turnfire, please use my ruined vessel to train the heroes of the future. The will of Kangamato will march ever on, till the abyss is stamped out.
Pretty eventful day yesterday.
Traveler, you've come at just the right time. Trinidad's condition is stabilized. He suffered burns on much of his body, but we believe he'll survive.
Guess that's the best news we could hope for. Paimon has to ask, is everyone in your tribe such a risk taker? First Kinich, then Elder Trinidad? Is this the scions of the Canopy's adventurous spirit in action?
We're simply not afraid to charge ahead into the unknown. He's fine. Don't worry. He's gone to check on the Mountain King. Something most mysterious has happened. After the incident yesterday, a transparent shell has formed around the Mountain King's body. We don't understand the mechanism behind it, but the shell appears to insulate him against the influence of abyssal. It is somewhat akin to a scab, in that it stops the abyssal energy within him from bleeding out, while also preventing further abyssal energy from seeping in, and in fact, we've never seen anything like it. The tribe's most senior elders believe it was caused when he was burned by the sacred flame, similar to the way burned wood becomes charcoal. I think their theory makes sense. After all, we've never thrown the Mountain King directly into the sacred flame before.
Wow. So it's made a barrier against abyssal energy? That's a good thing, right?
It's practically a miracle from what we've seen of it so far. It means that the Mountain King's level of abyssal energy is now stable. No longer will we need to perform an annual cleansing ceremony.
Wow, that's amazing!
I know what you're thinking. The young people in the tribe are already speculating that yesterday's ceremony was a Turnfire night like none other in our history. Because you and Kinich, you summoned the very flame that appears in our ancient legends. A great transparent ball of fire. And that fire is what saved the Mountain King.
Whoa! So that was the real Turnfire?
I may be the chief of this tribe, but I've only ever known the Turnfire as a concept in our legends. I cannot answer that question. If anyone can answer it, I suspect it would be the bearer of the Malipo name. He is in the Mountain King's cave as we speak.
Ah, so Kanich then. What?
Hey yourselves. You two doing okay after—
We were gonna ask you.
Sorry.
So you thought you'd try and extinguish the sacred flame with Dendro? Or is that an attempt to make the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula die of laughter?
The sacred flame only possesses a fraction of the Pyro Archon's power. It's not as if I was fighting the Pyro Archon herself.
Kanich, when you went into the flames, were you intending to,
Intending to what?
do the same thing as Burkina?
Sacrifice myself? Of course not. My focus was on keeping the Mountain King alive, not on what it would cost. But now I'm curious. What made you think I was going to sacrifice myself?
Well, because everyone's saying the Turnfire is what saved the king last night. And Ponche's theory was that summoning the Turnfire is a tit-for-tat exchange, right? So, Paimon thought you decided to pay for it with your life.
So you've heard that rumor too. I'm afraid I can't say for sure. What happened yesterday was a first for me too.
Well, even if you don't know, there's probably no one in the world who does.
What I would say is, if that really was the power of the Turnfire, I'd sooner believe that the Mountain King summoned it himself.
The Mountain King? Then, what price did he pay?
The core meaning of price is not atonement or compensation, but what you're willing to give up in order to obtain what you want. It's easy to die for your sins. Much harder to live with the guilt and keep on going. In the end, the Mountain King chose the latter option. For Burkina and for the tribe. That's the price he paid.
Alright, so how is the Mountain King doing now?
Health-wise, there's nothing to worry about. He'll enter a fighting stance whenever we set foot in his territory. But his attacks are gentler now and not as crazed as before. Like he said yesterday, he just intends to be a sparring partner for people to practice with. Yeah, I tried communicating with him again, but he didn't respond.
We dare say that Locust King has well and truly lost its mind. Its body remains fighting fit thanks to the But that was mere—
Oh, come on! That's why he doesn't—
Well...
Yeah, that's right.
But he ended up being...
That's on him.
friends? So, promise me, for you, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Pony? Toba? Huh?
Now hold your horses, kiddo. If you promise not to fight, Uncle Sanka will tell you a story. Okay, before you roll your eyes out of your skull, I promise you can trust me. I almost got my eyebrows burned off by the Turnfire after last time. That's why I came back, to make it up to you. All right, I'll just get to the point. Do you know what Uncle Sanka loves the most about your people?
What?
Your extreme sport.
Huh?
On my first day here, I got hit by someone falling out of the sky. I believe you call it bungee jumping? It's a dangerous sport, to be sure, but the courage it took to make the jump impressed the heck out of me. So, I introduced myself to the jumper, we made friends, and I even helped treat her wounds.
Oh, such a nice friend.
Of course. Anyway, the good times didn't last. In the hands of the enemy, I was scorned, scolded, and near— Why does Uncle Sanka always have to suffer, I thought? So I feel your pain, Huni. I was in the same position. But in the end, I made it through. And I left all of those painful memories in the past. I even managed to reunite with my friend.
Is that it? The moral of the story is to look forward in life, right? Yeah, we've heard that one millions of times. Sorry, Uncle Sanka, but you're not cut out to be a teacher.
Very smart, Huni, but not quite smart enough. What I'm trying to tell you is that after I reunited with my friend, I found her injuries were all healed, but she really missed her family. So, I thought you might like to see her too. She's right behind you. Turn around and see.
Another trick about not turning back? Huh?
Something you wish to report?
Ad Astra Abyssal. Thank you for Ad Astra
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
Storm the front! Let's spark things up a little.
No turning back! Quiver!
Surrendering will be gentle. Come a little closer.
Supporting fire! This moment will be frozen in time. Don't get frostbite.
I got you covered!
Get them! You're toast! What hit me?
Oh, so sorry.
Your arraignment! Incinerate! Help out of the frying pan into the fire!
Let's spark things up a little. Blitz.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Justice will prevail! Stop right there!
Surrendering will be gentle.
Shadow Raven! Let night fall!
I got you covered!
Hands right, see 'em!
Let's spark things up a little.